You were told to get a good education, find a stable job, and stay loyal. You were told that hard work and quiet resilience were the keys to a secure life. You did all of it. You kept your head down. You held it all together for decades. So why, after playing the game better than anyone, does it feel like you've been left with the bill? Why does the stability you were promised feel like thin ice? And why does it feel like the world you prepared for no longer exists? If you're a Gen X man in your late 40s or 50s feeling this way, you are not imagining it. And you are not alone. You are part of the forgotten generation, sandwiched between the noise of boomers and millennials. The world changed the rules without sending you the memo. You weren't punished for doing something wrong. You were punished for doing everything right just 20 years too late. The social contract was broken, but that does not mean your life is. In this video, we're going to do two things. First, we'll diagnose exactly why this happened, looking at the psychological and economic forces that created this trap. Then we'll outline a concrete three-step framework that psychologists use to help people rebuild after major life disruptions. This isn't just about understanding the past, it's about building a different future. The anatomy of a broken promise. The world your fathers inhabited had an unwritten deal. Loyalty to a company meant a pension and a gold watch. But your generation entered the workforce just as that deal was being systematically dismantled. Pensions became 401ks, shifting all the risk from the corporation onto you, the individual. You were told to save, but you watched market crashes in 2000 and 2008 erase years of careful planning. Think of the man who gave 25 years to one company, only to be replaced by a software update and a younger, cheaper employee. His loyalty wasn't rewarded. It was treated as a liability on a balance sheet. But it's not just economic, is it? There's a deep psychological reason this hurts so much, and it's tied to your greatest strength. As a latchkey kid, you learn to be self-reliant, to handle things on your own, to be stoic. This stoicism helped you survive the chaos of your youth and the instability of your early career. Your stoicism was never a personality trait, it was a survival tactic. But the threat has changed, and now it's a cage. It stops you from asking for help because you were taught that asking for help is a sign of weakness. It isolates you in your struggle, making you believe it's a personal failure rather than a shared generational experience. The quiet strength that once protected you now prevents you from connecting with the very people who understand what you're going through. This created a perfect storm of economic precarity and profound silent isolation. Does that sound familiar? Now, if that wasn't enough, there's another layer to this that we need to talk about. It's what makes your situation uniquely difficult, the pressure cooker of the sandwich generation. Many of you are not just worried about your own retirement, you're actively supporting aging parents with failing health. At the same time, your adult children, facing their own broken economy, may still need your financial support for tuition or a down payment. You're caught in the middle, a financial and emotional shock absorber for your entire family, with no one to absorb the shock for you. This isn't a side story. For many of you, it's the main story, and it's burning you out. But at this point, you might be thinking, what about the Gen Xers who did succeed? Were they just lucky, or did they know something the rest of us didn't? The answer is surprising, and it's the key to turning things around. We'll get to that in a moment. If this diagnosis is resonating with you, if you feel seen in this story, then the next part of this video is built for you. We build content like this to provide real tools, not just validation. Subscribing is the best way to join us on that journey forward.
Okay, that's the diagnosis.
And it's bleak. Now, let's talk about the cure. The validation you're feeling right now is real and it's necessary. But it's not the destination, it's the fuel for the journey ahead. Remember those successful Gen Xers we mentioned? They weren't just lucky. They understood, consciously or not, that the old rules were dead. They stopped playing the game of loyalty and started playing the game of adaptability and leverage. They embraced the fact that their career was their own responsibility, not a company's. The feeling of betrayal and loss you've experienced is a form of trauma, and staying stuck in that feeling leads to what psychologists call learned helplessness, a state where you believe you have no control. But there's an alternative concept, and it's called post-traumatic growth. This is the idea that profound struggle can become a catalyst for profound positive change. Think of a forest after a wildfire. The devastation is real, the old growth is gone, and the landscape is scarred. But the fire also cleared out the underbrush and created the conditions for new, different life to emerge, sometimes stronger than before. Your life is that forest. The grief for what was lost is valid, but it is not the final chapter. So how do you cultivate that new growth? This brings us to the path forward, a 3-step framework to rebuild. Step 1 is radical acceptance. This isn't about liking what happened. It's about fully acknowledging reality without fighting it. It's about grieving the life you were promised so you can make room for the life you can actually build. A practical way to do this is to write a 1-page letter to your 20-year-old self acknowledging his dreams and the reality of how things turned out. Then you can burn it, symbolically letting go of the old map. And that's the first step. It's the hardest, but it makes everything else possible. Now let's move on to the second, which is to recalibrate success. The old game defined success by title, income, and the size of your house. That game is rigged against you now. The new game is about redefining winning on your own terms. Maybe success isn't another promotion, but more time for your hobbies or with your kids. Maybe it isn't a bigger salary, but a deeper sense of peace and less daily stress. You get to decide the new scoreboard. This leads directly to step 3, build a portfolio of purpose. For many men, their entire identity is wrapped up in their job. When that job is threatened, their entire sense of self collapses. A portfolio of purpose means diversifying your identity just like a smart financial portfolio. You don't just need a new job, you need a portfolio of purpose. Your job is one stock, but you also need to invest in others. A hobby you're passionate about, a community group you contribute to, a role as a mentor to someone younger. When one part of your life takes a hit, you have other sources of value and self-worth to draw from. This is how you become anti-fragile. So let's put this all together. We've gone from a broken promise to a practical plan. You started this video feeling like you did everything right and were left with nothing you were promised. But you leave with something far more valuable, the wisdom to know the rules were wrong. The path forward is not about finding a new game to play by someone else's rules. It's about having the courage to accept the past, the clarity to recalibrate your own definition of success, and the resilience to build a life of purpose. The reward for playing a rigged game and losing isn't shame. It's the wisdom to stop playing and build your own. If this video gave you a new lens to look at your life, please consider subscribing for more content that provides real tools for the real world. We want to build a community here, and we need your voice. So in the comments below, tell us one way you are starting to recalibrate success in your own life. Your answer might be the one thing someone else needs to read today.